Hello once again to another Bosch and Roll Legacy video, and I have a super spicy one courtesy of vintage shops god Nicholas DiJohn. He has been playing this deck for a while now, and he recently won a Mox with it by placing first place in some big Eternal tournament, and he is an expert with artifacts in Eternal formats, it's safe to say. Historically, he's played Miracles in Legacy, but he tapped into his vintage roots and brewed up this monster, and he's been doing well with it, and I'm going to give it a shot. So what we have here is a amalgamation of Urza Stompy, which is a deck that you've seen me play before. We have Karn, we have Urza, we have Chalice of the Void, we have lots of artifacts to fuel it. And then there's also the Bomberman combo, which, if you're not familiar, is Auriok Salvagers is you pay 1 and a white to return target artifact with converted mana cost 1 or less from your graveyard to your hand. Lion's Eye Diamond is an artifact that costs 1 or less, and it makes 3 mana. So every time you buy back Lion's Eye Diamond, you net 1 mana. So this is an infinite mana combo. And once you have infinite mana, you can kill your opponent with Walking Ballista, which is also a artifact that costs 1 or less. The cool thing about this deck is that it has Urza as both an alternate way to win once you have infinite mana. Like if you don't have the Ballista yet, but you have Urza, you can just flip your deck till you cast Ballista. There's Karn, which can cast Mycosynth Lattice or do whatever. Any one of these cards can win the game on their own, and we have all 3 of them. Then there's also the coolest bit of technology to me is that this is a Gyruda Doom of Depths companion deck. So obviously you don't see 25 clones in this deck. That's not what we're doing. But if you have infinite mana with Salvagers, but need to find something else, Gyruda is at minimum 6/6, and at best it'll flip Urza or Walking Ballista, and then you actually just win. So it's just another big look for a win condition once you're going off. Outside of that, it's just all the normal baubles. I'll be honest, I'm a little worried about playing baubles in Hull Breacher's meta. You used to be able to know, like, if the coast is clear to pop it. They can't cast Narset in their upkeep, but they can totally cast Hull Breacher in their upkeep, so we're going to have to watch out for that. But, I mean, it is what it is. Hull Breacher is in the format now. And the rest of the sideboard, you see a pretty standard Karn package, and then 2 Disenchants. Disenchant is mostly for Null Rod effects. That's the biggest hammer against this deck. And Lavinia Azorius Renegade, Nicholas said this is a new thing he's trying to slow down Dreadhorde Arcadist Storm and Omni Show, which can be difficult cards. You can also hit it off Gyruda, which is just delightful. So that's the deck. Let's go see if we can ram 4 drops down people's throats. All right, so we're on the draw here in round 1. I will reveal my companion. Just something I haven't done in a while and I'm pretty excited about. This hand is exciting. Turn 1 Chalice into turn 2 Karn, and if they counter, I have a second turn 2 Karn. I'd be much more excited on the play with this hand, but that is how Magic the Gathering works. A basic mountain. Are you Burn or are you Stompy? Ugh. If they just have like turn 2 Blood Moon, this could be a huge beating. Or if they're Burn, this could be the best thing ever. Yes. Alright, so Chalice of the Void's very good. However, my mana base being double Ancient Tomb is pretty bad. Like if they have like Eidolon here. Oh, Goblin Engineer. Okay, they're up to something else. Is this some sort of mono red painter deck that plays Lightning Bolt? I'm not gonna lie, I'm really glad this is not Eidolon of the Great Rebel. And if you have Goblin Engineer in your deck, Karn the Great Raider's probably pretty good against you. Yeah, so I think I just run out. Well, I definitely run out Karn. It's just whether I plus or minus is the question. All right, well, here comes this thick lad. All right, sideboard. I I guess I can't get bolted. So that's because of Chalice, so I'm pretty safe with that. I could get Lattice now and Glass Casket next turn. I could also just plus Karn now. I think I want to get the Lattice. I think it's unlikely that the mono red deck has a discard spell. I probably could have run out Chalice on 0 also. All right, they just scooped it up. I'll take that too. So imagine this game from the opponent's point of view. Like, we know what deck I'm playing, but I revealed Gyruda, then went Chalice, Karn, Lattice. They haven't seen anything yet. Like, they have no idea that I'm Bomberman also. All right, so I want the Disenchants in. That's pretty easy. Torpor Orb hits the Goblin, but it does not stop Painter or anything. Painter turning everything different colors is not a trigger, it's just a thing that happens. So I could bring in Glass Casket. Yeah, that's probably better in my deck, because if I'm casting Karn, I think I can do something more exciting than that. Alright, now what do I cut? Chalice on 1 is very, very good against Painter decks in general. I could shave on some of these baubles. And shaving a bauble is usually something I'm comfortable doing. I'm usually not afraid of shaving an opal either, but this deck is really interested in casting its 4-drops. Guess I'll shave a tome. Tome might be a better cut than my fast mana, my enablers. Alright, I'm gonna bring these back and shave 2 tomes. I am interested to see this card in play. Nick, in his testing, he used to have Mystic Forge in some of these slots, but that gives you 16 4-drops and basically just 2 2-drops, or just 4 with Chalice, but this gives you 8 2-drops. So hopefully Maze Mind Tome comes up. I'll leave it in against anything that isn't a combo deck. Alright, we drew the 1 Maze Mind Tome. So Maze Mind Tome, you can scry 1 4 times for free, and then it dies and you gain 4 life, or you can pay 2 life and draw cards with it. I'm actually going to keep this hand. It has plays on 1. I'm going to draw a bunch of cards. We're pretty far off from this Urza situation. Oh, my opponent's on 3. I wonder if they'll just concede or if they'll actually try to play this game. They might be able to turn 1 me, but I don't know if they can do it on 3 cards. Right, Goblin Welder, that's pretty good. Because that can affect me also. Like, they can weld my Maze Mind Tome back into a Mishra's Bauble if they want to. They're drawing Astrolabe. That's probably a pretty good draw for them. That's material in play if they can dump an artifact somehow. Get my scry in there. I don't need that. I need colored mana at this point. Oh, I should have scryed again in my upkeep. Whoops. Loosey-goosey. Oh wait, I can just draw a card. That's pretty good too. Alright, so next turn I can Salvagers. I need to find a Lion's Eye Diamond. So I'm going to scry in my upkeep with Maze Mind Tome, because I'm not going to have mana left over to... Uh-oh, their combo's coming together over there. Oh, they're just abrading. Alright, that's fine. I'll get abraded over other options basically anytime. Alright, Lion's Eye Diamond. Chalice, not bad. So I don't have a line to get this Mox Opal active right now. I'll name Human. The only creatures in the deck, there's 2 humans and 1 construct. I probably should have chaliced first. Though maybe it doesn't matter. As if they just have like Painter plus Grindstone right now, that would hurt. Blood Moon's also really bad here, if they have that. Easy peasy. Alright, they have a sweet backup plan here. This also... Okay, they discarded Karn. That's lucky that they didn't have a 4th mana for Karn or an artifact to discard. Because if they discard an artifact, they can start just turning that artifact into Astrolabe and around, and this basically becomes tap draw a card. Alright. A colored mana source. Don't mind if I do. Alright, now it's go time. My life total is getting pretty low here. So even if they weld in response to Opal, I'll still have 3 artifacts in play here. Actually, I can just... If I just hold up Salvagers, then they can't weld me. Because I just rebuy, or... So if I Salvagers Mishra's Bauble, they can weld Chalice into Mishra's Bauble, and I... Alright, that doesn't matter. I can't get back Tome anyway, so... Yeah, they'll probably weld something here because it's free for them to do. They might as well like kill my Chalice or whatever. Yeah, they're thinking about all of this. I think they're running the same numbers I am right now. Like, what actually happens if they weld here? And the answer is they get to kill Chalice or Construct for free. Alright, yeah, they figured it out. Okay, that's fine. I would like to know what they're drawing. Alright, they're drawing a mountain. Which might be great, honestly. Who knows? I'm not sure if I should be attacking or not. My life total is low enough that I'm not gonna play around with that. Alright, deck, we get it. I have lots of salvagers. I don't think there's a pithing needle in my sideboard. No, there's no spyglass here. Probably should be. Alright, so their hand is 3 fresh random cards. I am going to block. I am flush with salvagers, so these blocks are free. This attack tells me they have lightning bolt. And I'm fine making that trade right now. They can actually bolt salvagers, and I guess they can't weld. I was gonna say they could weld, but all of that happens on the same at the same time. Like there's no point where there's no point in the game where state-based actions are checked and I don't have 2 artifacts in play to kill the construct. All right, cool. Starting to get a little healthier here. So is it almost Gyruda time? I don't know. So if I go 1, 2, 3, 4, I can cast a second Urza and Salvagers this turn. Yeah, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna go into full stomping mode. Just get my attacks in. And then I can make blue, blue, 1, 2, Urza. Guess they could red blast this. Oh no, they can't. I have Cavern. Cavern's so good. And then I don't know if I want to go to 3 against this deck. They have shown me multiple lightning bolts. So I guess I'll just hold my horses. I can only make 3 painless mana. Yeah, I'm not going to die to a lightning bolt when I feel like I'm so far ahead here. Alright, welding my construct into Chalice for 0. Is there any way I can punish that? I don't think so. Alright. Alright, so they decided to cash in their city. Imperial Recruiter probably gets Painter. Or it might get the Goblin Engineer to set up a welder loop. Because Engineer can just get a combo piece and go off with Welder. Yeah, there's the Engineer. So I might just not be in a position to respect Welder. Or Lightning Bolt. Okay, there's some pain-free mana. Happy to see that. So 1, 2, 3, or 1, 2, 3. I can Gyruda here. I don't think that's helpful right now, though. Trying to figure out if I can lose next turn. To the welder combo. I'm not sure. I'm just gonna attack for 4 first. And then white, 2, 3. Salvagers. At least get this blocker into play. I can try to Gyruda to spike an LED next turn. This has become really interesting. This welder is really jacking up my business. Could also spin Urza once, but that puts me to 3 again, which I've tried really hard to avoid doing. Oh, I can wish for Gyruda right now. Let's get that monster in hand. All right, here come the fireworks. Whatever they put into the graveyard with Engineer, they can get back right away. Let's see what the damage is. They can get any artifact here. See if they have like a Sundering Titan or Triskelion or like something that just kills me. I mean, Sundering Titan's pretty bad. Right. And Triskelion would only deal 3. Regardless, this will turn on their Astrolabe loop, and this will become tap draw a card. All right, they got Painter. So if they're holding Red Blast, this could get wonky. All right, so blue, blue. Whoa, I have a Chalice on 0. Almost jammed that Lotus Petal. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, Gyruda, let's go. Just need to mill an LED. This also mills them though, which is kind of terrifying with their welder. Though, I guess I can't get a welder off of them because it has to be an even cost card. I could get a painter off of them. I don't want that though. Oh, I got Goblin Engineer, which can put LED in the graveyard. Unless their last card in hand is Lightning Bolt. I put that LED in the bin. Oh wait, there's a Chalice in play. Fuck. That doesn't matter. Oh no. I think I've lost. Yeah, this Chalice on 0 ended up killing me. Okay, yeah, I missed that line. I got so excited. Yeah, I can't get back Glass Casket. Yeah, and then they get back Painter and Step and Grindstone on their turn, and I'm dead. Oh, that sucked. That Chalice was brutal. Alright, so I need to be careful about Chalice of the Voids, because that Welder business is pretty scary. Welder controlled the shit out of that whole game. I guess I have 3 ballistas in the main, so like I have, and I brought in the Disenchanting Glass Casket, so I have a lot of ways to kill a Welder. That just was unfortunate. I also need to be more careful with my Chalices. I don't think I can board Chalice out, especially on the play, but I do need to watch out for them with Welder now. All right, let's do that again. I'm on the play this time, which would have won me that last game. Actually, I think I'm gonna cut a Chalice for a Tome. Tome was pretty good, and it's not a liability. I think I probably should have just conceded last game. I just kept forgetting that Chalice and Zero was in play. I can draw a Karn to boot my own Chalice also. So I have outs to that situation. I just didn't draw them. Alright, so this is a turn 1 Tome, turn 2 Karn. This is a keep. Yeah, I think Karn is the boss in this matchup. Oh, remember when they mauled to 3 last game? We lost that one. Welder was worth 4 cards in the opening hand. Leyline of the Void. Alright. My plan does not involve that this game. That also means they can't weld me, so deal. Red Elemental Blast coming. Alright. That's also not part of this plan. I think it's too late for that. Upkeep Scry. I don't think that's going to be useful either. Or, like, I'm pretty far away from casting it. Alright, Karn Father. Make it happen. I think I'm going to plus on nothing for now. Yeah, I'm just going to plus nothing. I can lattice next turn. And they can't grind me. Like, I don't want to lose my Karn to Lightning Bolt because I wished early. So because of Karn, they can't even play like Ancient Tomb or City of Traders and represent a Braid. Alright, so we know they have the red Elemental Blast. I guess, do they have Simian Spirit Guide is the last question. Like, Spirit Guide can get this Reb happening. So I could take my time, I guess, and get Chalice on one and play that first. But then they can attack Karn twice. I think I just have to go for it. So if I play Lattice, I guess I lose regardless if that is their play. Because they can just Reb Karn, untap, and Grindstone me. So I think I just have to go for it. Or I could get Ballista and just cast Ballista on 3. And then that's a blocker, so Karn can stay at a high total. Alright, yeah, I think I'm gonna play around this. So I think I should just pick this jerk off now. Because if they untap, then they can Reb for sure. Alright, might have been unnecessary, but why lose for no reason if you don't have to? They have their own Karn, this gets kind of shitty. So they can animate one of their artifacts and attack my Karn. Or we can just play this stupid, like, everybody has Karn game. Alright, so they have a 1/1. Let's see if they're going to attack or block with this. Alright, they are in the attacking business. Alright, backup Karn. So if I attack them, yeah, I need to attack their Karn. If they top deck a soul land, we're actually going to lose this game. I'm not going to put Gyruda in my hand because hopefully I'm going to be LEDing soon. I don't know. We'll see. Actually, neither of us can Lattice because then we both have Karn. So maybe I should have put Gyruda in my hand. Whoops. But they have the Reb, so that may or may not be relevant. And we can't really wish for... I should probably wish for Chalice, I know, because they can just boop it with their Karn. Oh, this game is exciting. Like, I can't... Maybe I just get Canonist as just, like, a creature that can go into play. Oh, this is wild. Alright, so they can Lattice. And I guess I would deck first. Is that really how this is gonna work? So they get Lattice. We both have 49 cards in our deck. I go to 48, then they go to 48, and then that's it. I hope they don't see that, because I don't want to do that. There's nothing in my deck that creates a shuffle of any kind. Like, I don't have an Emrakul or anything. Yep, they've done it. The Mad Lad. All right. So, I guess I just deck first, and that's how this game ends. Yep, can't do anything. That was sweet. Uh, I feel like I could have won game two. I feel like I should have. I don't know. Like, I feel that I could have won this game. I played around Simian Spirit Guide, which we did see one off the Gyruda last game. It is the card they play, but yeah, I played around one thing and into another. All right. That was a sweet match. On the play for round two. This is a turn two Salvagers. I'll keep it, and I get to bobble twice, see what they're up to. Show me your moves. Brainstorm. Alright, so they have a Misty Rainforest in their hand and a Brainstorm on top of their deck. That all sounds pretty good. I'm going to play out the Tundra, because in general I care less if that gets wastelanded than if Ancient Tomb does. Wish that one was in the opener. Yeah, if they do spend this turn wasting though, oh. Old Wasteland Go strategy. Huh, that was weird. Why would they do that then? Alright, whatever. It's done. Alright, we've successfully baited the Wasteland on something that is an Ancient Tomb. Alright, no force, one-time dealer. Let's lock that hand down. Nice. Alright, so we know there's at least one Brainstorm stranded in their hand, and it seems unlikely that they have Force of Will. I'm going to play Tome and start drawing cards, rather than play Ballist on one. Or I could have played Ballist on two, I guess, which might have been a better start. Alright, but I have 2/3 of the combo in hand. Just need to find a Lion's Eye Diamond. Do I scry in my upkeep? I think I do. Scrying is almost the same as drawing here. I'll bottom that, even though I think it probably would have been pretty good. Alright, so Karn represents LED. I think I should lead on Salvagers, though. Just because I have two of them, and baiting a Force of Will with this is a way better deal. And I can cash in this Lotus Petal to draw a card. Yeah, I want to bobble on their turn, so I have, like, in their end step, so I have the most information about their hand. Uh-oh, they found some action. Dreadhorde Arcanist, sure. That can continue not casting any spells. Oh, we got a Hex Drinker with the Chalice also. Life is good. Alright, moment of truth. I'm gonna go to 5 life to jam this Karn. They haven't had a force yet. Alright, Lion's Eye Diamond. Now it's bomber time. Let's see if they're willing to concede, or if they're gonna make me click through it. Alright, I will demonstrate this loop once on camera, and then I'll edit it out in post afterwards. You all didn't come to watch me click Lion's Eye Diamond forever. And I have the whole win here, like there's not even anything to find. And I am on the side that it's totally acceptable to make your opponent play it out on Magic Online. I don't care. Like this combo doesn't even really take that long. Alright, so I've generated enough mana to cast Walking Ballista for 20. And I left the LED in my hand because I would hate to get punked after all that by a daze. Cast Ballista for 20. And just reduce their life total to 0. That whole combo took about 4 minutes to execute, like from starting the Lion's Eye Diamond loop to them going to 0. That's plenty of time to do that again in this match. They are deceased. Alright, so we're playing against Rug Delver. Nick said Dreadhorde Arcanist is one of the things Lavinia's for, so I'll give it a shot. Glass Casket comes in here. Bridge stays in the board. Tome might be a little wonky because I'm bringing in all these other 2s. I also hate drawing redundant Mox Opals in these matchups where every card counts, but this deck in particular compared to others, like I don't have a ton of colored sources. Maybe Lotus Petal is a better cut. Though Petal enables Opal and not the other way around. Alright, I'm gonna cut an Opal. Yeah, so they kept a no Force of Will hand and just died for it. I think this matchup is pretty bad for the Delver side. Like I just have so many haymakers, and like they need to pressure early. Like they need like a Delver into Arcanist to back up all of their forces sort of thing. And they need a hand that lines up well against Cavern of Souls. Like they might need to Wasteland me and then also have counter spells while presenting a clock. It's a lot to ask. This is also a matchup where just walking Ballista for 2 or 3 is quite a monster. This is turn 2 Salvagers with some Walking Ballistas. I don't like this hand. Yeah, I want a Chalice in this matchup. Um, I'm gonna send the second Chalice to the bottom, hoping I don't need two of them. This hand's pretty awkward, especially on the draw. A Soul Land off the top would be insane, because then we can play around days. Alright, there's Delver. I have Walking Ballista for that. Soul Land? Alright, that's kind of like a Soul Land. I didn't count it. It lets us play around days. Alright, they had a force this time, force pitching Uro. So they got some thickness hiding in the back there. Delver didn't flip. That's a little present. I would like to avoid Wasteland if possible, but I can still Ballista next turn even if they have it. Collector Oof, that's a huge beating. Alright. So now I need to draw Glass Casket. I'm gonna name Human. It doesn't really matter if Ballista resolves compared to having my mana online later in the game. Delver just flipped a Braid. Alright, I think we're done here. Yeah, them having a Braid, even if I draw the Glass Casket, they can just free the Oof. Alright, I think on the play I want to be built for maximum speed. Does that make any sense? Opal. Maybe I cut an Urza because they have, though they have, I doubt they brought in their Red Blast. They haven't seen any blue cards yet. So Urza is probably about as safe as he's ever going to be in this sort of matchup. Yeah, maybe I cut a Tome. Just have maximum speed. Like Urza can stomp through a Collector Oof, but I was nowhere near having blue mana last game to do that. I had the one Cavern, but they turned off the Lotus Petal. I mean, Lavinia is pretty cool because it stops them from forcing also. Stops forces and Dreadhorde Arcanist triggers. Alright, so we have a turn 1 Chalice without much help. Like, if I Chalice on one, I'm gonna keep this. I wish this was City of, or Ancient Tomb, but it is what it is. If the Chalice resolves, Opal is on. A lot of ifs here. This one's a little bit sketchy, but I think that this is the kind of hand that we need to be throwing haymakers onto the board to beat this deck. they forced pitching fire and ice. What year is it? All right, so this is pretty scary. If they wasteland me, I'm just in the Stone Age. All right, that's not a wasteland. I'll take that. So I want like a 0-mana artifact off the top. Lotus Petal would be insane. I should have been more specific. One that isn't this one. Ah, fucking Mox Opal. Drawing 2 of those is always the worst. Extracting my chalices. You got it. But now they've seen my terrible hand. Yeah, if they have like land oof to follow up here, we're in a lot of trouble. Might as well run one of these out. Is it oof or is it Arcanist? How bad is the news? Alright, Tarmogoyf I can beat. So a 0-mana artifact that isn't Mox Opal could actually win the game. Urza, I don't need you. Yeah, this is becoming ugly. It's been ugly for a minute, but it is officially full uggo. Mana Source, perhaps? Okay, does that Mana Source help me? 1, 2, no. It is at least a follow-up if they have Wasteland. Yeah, I need an artifact. So they didn't play a land or a creature last turn, which makes me think that their hand is just full of counter spells. All right, are we in business? They could like abrade Lion's Eye Diamond in response to the second one. That'll deny me the Opal mana. Right, they're in the tank if they want to like Force of Negation this or whatever. All right, so they do force this. Force pitching Spell Pierce. Okay. I think I just have to pass the turn again. That grows the Tarmogoyf. There's now an artifact in the bin. So I can run out this other one to play around Surgical Extraction, but it plays into a Braid. All right, I'm just going to pass. Okay, that was their draw for the turn. They have 2 mystery cards left, 2 reactive cards left. All right, Lotus Petal. Let's try this again. I'm playing LED last because that's the one I care the least about. Or I care the most about, like, it matters, like, what order that happens in. Alright, 1, 2, 3. Do I lead on Lavinia, or do I even mess around with that? Maybe I just play Urza. No, I definitely don't play Urza because I can just win if I play Salvagers. Alright, they forced that one. Okay, so I can play Urza next turn. And they're currently Hellbent. Alright, moment of truth. Did they draw a good card or not? I guess I get to know immediately if they drew a good card or not. Lightning Bolt. Alright, I don't care about Lightning Bolt. Blue, blue. Keep this one. Blue. Alright, I guess saying I don't care about Lightning Bolt isn't quite true, because it's still real scary. Alright, they're just picking off my construct. That's fair. Aggressive, but fair. So they can attack me down to 5, obviously not blocking. This is getting scrappy. I have mostly executed my game plan here, which was, alright, Abrade, that kind of sucks, but okay. My game plan was jamming Haymakers until they ran out of answers, and they're out of answers. I just need to pay off now. So I can play a second Urza here. I could also just play Lavinia. But what good is Lavinia? What good is second Urza, I guess, is the better question. In Lavinia chumps for a turn. If I play the second Urza, then I have 2 chumps instead of 1. I guess I can block bounce Urza, but then I can't replay him, so that's not actually a good play. I think I'm just going to play Lavinia here. Urza can attack because if they have an answer for Lavinia, it's probably going to be an instant. Oh wait, are there any creatures? Yeah, there's already a creature in the graveyard. Okay, good. All right, yeah. They can attack me to 1 if they remove Lavinia. I wonder if I just go to 1, like no blocks, but Lavinia doesn't actually do anything, so that doesn't matter. Yeah, I'm definitely chumping Tarmogoyf if I get the opportunity. We're looking for that glass casket off the top. Oh, we're looking for salvagers off the top, really. Oh no. Explosives for 0, you jerk. That's a nightmare. They've drawn extremely well. I would just like to say that all of their top decks have been bangers this whole game. All right, I'm going to name human, and then I think I just pass and I block bounce with Caracas. Let's see, did they just draw the red elemental blast? They sideboarded in without seeing any blue cards. Or dismember. Maybe they just draw a land like one time. All right, so I need to draw a land here, or a lotus petal. All right, that was actually great. I'm done complaining about their good draws because that was literally the best draw in my deck. I can pain-free cast Urza uncounterably while leaving up Caracas. All right, we're back in business. Oh no, is this Brazen Borrower? Yep. Ugh. All right, that sucks. Yeah, they've continued to draw bangers, which is, I mean, it's what Delver does, but they do play lands. Like they are in the deck. All right, the Brainstorm. Luckily, they're Hellbent, so they only get like one of the best 3 cards instead of totally fixing a busted hand. But that may or may not matter. Also means they're not casting Brazen Borrower this turn unless they keep a land off this Brainstorm. They could find Wasteland and destroy Caracas, which would mess up my loop here, but I do still have another Urza coming. Or maybe they'll just brick entirely. That would be great. This game has gotten grindy to a spot where them making me play out game 1 might actually start becoming a problem. Alright, they did keep a land for the Brazen Borrower. They believe that is the route to victory. Oh. So after they cast Brazen Borrower, I'm going to bobble them, so then I'll have perfect information about their hand. There's a Taiga in this deck, my god. Alright, now it's time to bobble. Don't lightning bolt me. That's the old one, don't worry. Sylvan Library, alright. And that card's scary, but it doesn't immediately affect the board. I can jump with Construct this turn. Do I jump with Construct? Is that the best play? Like, is it better to start my turn with Urza or start my turn with a creature that might be able to attack? Like, I can make it a 3/3 that I know of. No, I think this is definitely the lesser option here. I gotta find an answer to Brazen Borrower. Salvagers off the top. City of Traders. So, do I have enough mana here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm one short. Are you shitting me? One short of casting Gyruda, which may or may not do anything. I guess I can spin with Urza. Let's go, Salvagers. Shit. Alright, looks like I'm dead. Close game. Crazy match. Alright, we're on the play in round 3. My hand doesn't do anything, so I'm going to mulligan it. This hand has a turn 1 chalice, so I'm going to keep it. I think I send planes to the bottom. Flooded Strand can just get the planes back if I want it. So I want to see what they're up to before I decide if I'm going to chalice or what I'm going to chalice on. Alright, they're a Daze deck, so chalice on 1 seems like a good bet. Oh, they had the force. Whack. Force pitching Brainstorm. Alright. So I know I'm playing around a Daze here. Nice. Never didn't have it. Perfectly played around Daze, just like we drew it up. Now they just play Tarmogoyf and we lose. We've seen this before. Alright, it's Dreadhorde Arcanist. That one's not the worst when Chalice is already in play. Maze Mine Tome. So I could play Tome, or I could put Gyruda in my hand. I'm going to play Tome. I think that's a pretty easy choice, actually. I am bleeding out to this Ancient Tomb, which I would like to rectify sooner than later. Having this Chalice in play feels so good. Please don't remove it. Alright. The second 1/3 trample. Alright, so I'm going to scry in the end step. I want this, but less than I want to hit my mana, my land drops here. That's kind of like a land drop, but not really. Alright, that's definitely like a land drop. So I can play Ballista on 2. I go to 9 life. Or I can... Oh, can I cast Gyruda this turn? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. No, I'm one short. Alright, fine. I think I should just play this Ballista. Go to 9, which I'm not excited about, but this can block Dreadhorde Arcanist now, which I am excited about. And if they want to Force of Will this, then that's fine. I'm gonna get... Oh, this sucks. I guess I have to get Tundra because I want Salvagers to be a live top deck, but I also want to be able to cast this Urza. But now I'm already pretty exposed to Wasteland though with the Ancient Tombs. So I could trade with one of them, or I could just block one of them forever. Oh, if they play like Tarmogoyf or something here, that'll make it a pretty easy choice. Oh, Hooties. Alright, that's a much more difficult choice. I guess I just leave it in play though. Blue source or Salvagers? Alright, perfect. Please don't have Force of Will. Alright, they didn't have Force. So what does this do now? I can eat the Hooties. I can pump Ballista. Yeah, I'm just gonna pass with this business up now. Unless they have something like a Braid into Lightning Bolt, I feel like this game is pretty well under control. Alright, yeah, they agreed. Alright, found the answer right at the end there. Alright, so we've seen this before. This is that same matchup we just played. Don't want the same stuff to happen. I am gonna shave the fourth opal. I don't think I'm being results oriented after being stuck with the opal rotting in my hand forever in game 3. Like I talk a lot on this channel about how comfortable I am going down to 3 opals most of the time. Like it's more important in a matchup like this for your cards to matter than for them to be explosive. Alright, this is the deck I'm presenting. I think they saw everything though. Like they countered a Salvagers and then they died to Urza. So there are no surprises here. I have turn 1 Karn. Is that good? Is that good enough? They're probably gonna mulligan to something, but my like follow-up, I'm gonna keep this. I'd feel better about it on the play, but I mean, it's turn 1 Karn. I could also turn 2 Karn and play around Daze. Yeah, I think I'm gonna turn 1 Ballista and then turn 2 Karn. I'm just running out this Lotus Petal to play around Daze. It's still a pretty good Daze, like it kills Lotus Petal. Alright, let's just get that out of here. And show me your secrets. Alright, Hooting Mandrills is their secret. Alright, so now even if they Wasteland, I still kind of have a plan here. I can still Maze Mind Tome. That's fine, it was gonna die anyway. Sucker. Yeah, I'm not gonna jam Karn into Daze. And next turn I can play around Daze and Spell Pierce. Tome's been pretty good. Like this card is the real deal, maybe, in a deck like this. They chose to shuffle, love it. Wasteland, hate it. Salvagers, love it. So I can play City and get a free draw off Maze Mind Tome, but then I lose my City. I think that's worth doing. Just getting raw cards up on this deck. I like it. Just have to dodge Collector Oof. They can cast those Hooties here. Arcanist, okay. That's a lot scarier when I don't have Chalice in play. Alright, I'm gonna scry in my upkeep, try to find that Lion's Eye Diamond. Okay, do I want another cavern? I don't think that I do. Alright, another city. Human? Alright, let's get this uncounterable 2/4 into play. Two four is like exactly the wrong stats, because they can attack, get their free ponder. I can't kill it in combat, and I expose myself to lightning bolt. So if they attack, I'm just not gonna block. Because they're gonna get the card either way, and the 1 damage probably isn't gonna matter. That also takes them off Hootie. Not that that is difficult for them to get back onto Hootie. Yeah, easily back into Hootie Town. And fetch lands and delve are such a sweet combo. That's not new information. That's been true since Tarkir, but it very powerful stuff going on in these Eternal formats. Oko. All right, that's pretty good. So yeah, it's kind of funny that Oko like makes salvagers both better and worse at the same time. I'm not gonna scry in my upkeep. Oh, hello. I was gonna say I prefer to just draw a card, but casting Urza is also pretty great. And now I might want to keep this around as a mana source. I have to attack Oko with Salvagers, so they can't just trade for Urza. I could cast Ballista on 1 right now, actually. That might be worth doing. Yeah, I might as well get this. Use this mana while I can. Well, that does expose me pretty hard to a lightning bolt. I don't know, maybe I didn't need to do that. Shit, they're tapping red. Oh, Pyroblast. Alright. So they did see Urza game 1. It makes sense that they bring in Pyroblast. Unlike my last Rug Delver opponent, who just saw white cards and artifacts for 2 games, and then Urza showed up in game 3. So this Oko is under some real pressure. They can still hoot and brainstorm. Rug Delver is so good. This deck is a masterpiece. Like, feel how you like about it, but Rug Delver is an absolute masterpiece of a deck. They don't have any great Oko targets, which is nice. Like, basically just making food is all there is to do here. This construct's already a 3/3. It's more likely to get smaller before it gets bigger. And Ballista would become a 4/4. This is already an elk. The Maze Mine Tome is a little awkward because I would like to scry in my upkeep, but I would also like to attack with a 3/3. Yeah, I think they just... Oh wow. They just elk that guy. Alright, cool. Now I can scry in my upkeep. Or is drawing a card better? Like, if I spike the mana source and just jam Karn, that's the best thing. Right, I can draw for turn and then decide if I want to draw a card with Maze Mine Tome. Alright, I do. So I exile this, gain 4 life, and draw a card. I'm going to attack Oko with these two creatures. They can block, but they lose their Hooter. They're going to lose Oko either way, and it's up to them if they want to lose Hootie as well. Alright, that worked out pretty well. Yeah, I'm gonna just pass here. I'm gonna bobble them in their end step. That gives me the most information going into my turn. Dreadhorde Arcanists continue to be a huge jerk. So if I find a mana source for Karn, what do I even get? And maybe, I don't know. Maybe I plus and try to figure it out next turn. Maybe I think I get Liquid Metal Coating and start trying to blow up their lands next turn. And Mega Dead to a Wasteland though. Alright, what do you got? A Red Blast, okay. More like Dead Blast, hahaha, sucker. Alright, oh baby. So... I'm gonna play Salvagers because it's the uncounterable one. I hope they don't have Stifle for this fetch land. I have to get a white source to start the LED chain with. This cavern does not help me there. I'm gonna hold back Salvagers to pressure the Arcanist, though does that make any sense? I guess it does, because if they have Lightning Bolt, they would prefer to like Bolt, Snap, Bolt on the Salvagers, the big Salvagers. So I can still eat the Arcanist in combat if they do that, and then I have a 3/3 and they don't. Yeah, if Salvagers survives the turn and I don't top deck Lion's Eye Diamond, I guess it, like, so if those two things happen, we're starting on the slow pay 2 life, draw a card next turn plan, or pay 2 mana, draw a card next turn plan. They shuffled. They probably got rid of this Reb. Oh no, Wasteland's here. Alright, we're at a point where that's not the worst thing that could happen to me. Like, Mana Source off the top starts drawing extra cards. Balls. Alright, so now we're just gonna hold, I guess. I could be beating down. Though I think that denying them the Arcanist draws when I'm just sitting on one mana source is going to be better. Alright, I'm going to get rid of this Red Blast because I'm pretty sure they definitely don't have it in their hand anymore. Is this the second Oko? Uh-oh. Going for the Ponder. So they either have Lightning Bolt or they feel that they're in a position that they need to get aggressive to find one. They chose to shuffle again. Well, I got my block in. Okay, so I feel like they found that on the Ponder, or else they would have cleared this Salvager, I think. I don't know. It's getting weird. Mana Source? Alright, well. Had a couple of turns there to rip a Mana Source, but I think we're falling too far behind at this point. Okay. Them not attacking with Delver means they don't have Lightning Bolt in their hand. Do I risk that they just found one to save 1 damage? I don't think so. Like, Salvagers is just so important here. Let's see if they want to, like, aggro Spell Pierce and Urza's Bauble. It might be worth doing. Yep, alright. Fair enough. These Delvers are gonna flip this turn, because they just brainstormed, that's how that works. So I need to Lion's Eye Diamond off the top, and their 4 cards in hand can't do anything, and I need to still have Salvagers in play when that all happens. Seems pretty likely, right? They've cantripped so many times with this Arcanist that their hand is basically just 4 cards they've Demonic Tutor for. I take 7, I go to 9, then... Yep, it's a bad time here. Still not gonna block. My only out is everything going right for me and everything going wrong for them. Alright, LED off the top. There's not one in my graveyard, is there? I don't believe so. Ballista. Nope, just some baubles. So I go to 3 plus the bolt. Yeah, I guess I can chalice on 1 to technically stay alive 1 turn. Though I bet they're gonna just counter that. It's hard cast days for the full insult. Alright. Game 3. Back on the play. I don't think anything changes about my board plan. Last round I brought in an Opal on the play. I don't think I want to do that. Same deck, back in. So, yeah, the red blasts are pretty interesting because they only affect 4 cards in my deck, but they are very effective against those 4 cards. So I have to kind of hope that their answers line up wrong. Though Chalice is going to be pretty integral to my plan regardless. Like, that was a textbook case of just getting chewed apart by Dreadhorde Arcanist. I'm wondering if I should have Maze Mind Tomes in the deck over Lavinia. Like, is Lavinia actually even good? Especially now that I've seen the Red Blast. Oh, she's probably okay. I am. Oh no, not liquid coating, not liquid coating. Maze Mind Tome. Yeah. All right. I'll go down to 1 Lavinia and more tomes. Because Tome was like the best thing I did that whole game. I really want to cast Gyruda again. We got to do that in the first round and haven't seen it since. I wonder if Canonist should be in my deck. That also slows down Dreadhorde Arcanist. Alright, so this is a turn 1 Tome with looks at a turn 2. I have turn 2 Salvagers locked up, possible turn 2 Urza. I'm going to keep this. The double Ancient Tomb mana base, always terrifying against Delver. But that's what I signed up for. Let's see. I'm kind of stoked if they force this, honestly. Cool. Force, pitching force, wow. The double down. So why would they pitch force? Yeah, I assume Wasteland was involved in this line somewhere, but they either didn't have another blue card, Return to Nature is a good one to know about, or their blue card is something like Delver that they want to be attacking me with. Let's take a peek at what they're going to draw with Bobble. Another Wasteland here would be devastating. Alright, show me another card. Saw the same, likely the same Polluted Delta again. Too bad. Alright, Cavern of Souls. Not quite what I was looking for here. I mean, this does kind of get online. Like, my Opal is active right now. I try to set up for next turn, but I know they're holding Return to Nature, so they could just pick off my Opal. They could also Lightning Bolt my Walking Ballista. We know they play that card. A lot of scary stuff going on here. But if they kill Ballista instead of Opal, or they just go after nothing, interesting. So I'm gonna... I could jam Urza or Salvagers. They have Red Blast in their deck. I have 2 salvagers, so I'm going to do that. And I have to do it first main because I don't want them to pick off Ballista and I lose Metalcraft during combat. So yeah, I'm going to start trying to overload their hand. They haven't presented a threat, which is bad for them. The Delver deck just trying to play purely reactively when it doesn't have a clock or a repeatable source of advantage of some kind in play usually gets bled out against decks like this. And by decks like this, I mean any combo or control deck. Like they do need to be clocking. They're the aggro deck. All right, now I'm clocking and they're not. So they may have chosen to lock in this Return to Nature as a graveyard hate spell instead of a disenchant. All right, there's this jerk. Lion's Eye Diamond off the top? Kinda. Karn, go get him. Do you have a Force of Will? Lion's Eye Diamond. Cast it. Wait. Even if they have Surgical Extraction, I have another mana to get in a response. Alright, so you are dead. Like, my Ballista's literally in play. So, maybe they'll just make me click through it. I have 12 minutes to do this. Will be no problem at all. This is a snooze fest. But, yeah, in real life, you can just say, infinite mana, you're dead. But Magic Online, 18 years into its existence, or wherever we are right now, still has not found a way to demonstrate a loop. Alright, they scooped it up. Thank you. Good opponent. Alright. We got one. We're on the board with a win against Rug Delver. Alright, we're on the draw for round 4. I'm going to keep this hand. It is a turn 1 tome and line 2, turn 2 Urza. Already have the LED, so combo potential as well. Alright, now the path to Urza is even clearer. Let's hope this is just some control deck and not another Delver deck. I'm sick of playing them. So I'm probably not I'm gonna scry end step, and I'm probably not gonna scry in my upkeep because I'm currently not planning to use all my mana on my turn. So drawing an extra card is probably better. There's that dreaded tropical island. My arch nemesis. I definitely have the brewer's advantage though. Like playing turn 1 Maze Mine Tome should confuse some number of people. I'm definitely going to bobble first before I scry, because then I'll have more information to know what I need to find. Alright, that didn't really help. I did assume there were more than 2 lands in their deck. So, Ballista, I'm going to bottom that. I'm a lot more interested in finding a Salvagers. Hello. And Salvager is accomplished. So next turn I can make infinite mana. Just need to survive the next turn. I guess I still draw a card with Maze Mind Tome because it's another look for Ballista, and I should fetch with Flooded Strand before I activate Tome because all of that will result in, like, there's a Ballista on the bottom of my deck right now that I now didn't want last turn, but I do want this turn. There's that. Okay, so they can still force the Lion's Eye Diamond. They can also Swords to Plowshares. So I'll get Tundra, draw a card. All right, I have a second LED now. So, all right, so this all gets a lot better now. So I can LED, Opal, LED. So now I can go off in response to them doing anything. So, human. I guess I should tap the Opal, because the number of artifacts I have in play is going to change. So I can, once I have infinite mana, I can draw a card with Maze Mind Tome, and I can still activate Gyruda, or summon Gyruda. I guess Plow does totally break this up. I'm dumb. For some reason I thought having a second LED lets me just go off through Plow, but that's not true because you have to cast the LEDs at sorcery speed, obviously. Whoops. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 mana. I have 8 mana right now if they decide to break up what I'm up to. Graveyard Hate doesn't matter here because I can sack this LED to get back both of them because I'll go up to 4 mana. Or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I actually do have 9 mana to Gyruda this turn, if I were so inclined. White, white, white. Get back this one also. All right, Salvagers is out of here. We haven't played against removal yet in this league. I forgot how all that works. All right, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Gyruda. Let's see what this does, if anything. Probably just gets Force of Willed. Yep. Wrecked. All right. We're back into Maze Mind Tome mode. We did put them down to 3 cards in hand. So Tome, digging for Salvagers is our best out here. All right. Icefang Coatl was the card that they had. So there's some sort of, we don't know if there's snow yet, but they're some sort of band control deck. See if they are traditional Snowco or if there's some like Court of Cunning deck. All right, Mystic Sanctuary, rebuying the Force of Will. Okay. So I could scry for velocity, or I could just take a draw step and then draw a card draw an extra card. I think drawing an extra card is probably better, especially since they just put Force of Will in their hand. They're going to need to find a way to get ahead on this board because they have 3 cards in hand. One of them's Force of Will, presumably another one of them is blue. And then I have Maze Mind Tome that's going to draw me 2 cards for the next 2 turns. They're thinking pretty hard about this Ponder. Like if the Ponder found like Uro into the Force of Will, that's probably their best line. Oh, Teferi. Teferi's pretty good too. I don't really play instants, but this does let them draw another card. Sure. They didn't want to reset my tome, which is probably a good idea for them. I'll run my Mox out there. I'm going to draw a card now in case I find Chalice. All right, that's a pretty good one. So we know they have Force of Will. They can cast sorceries like their instants. We don't know how many Swords to Plowshares, or how many Mystic Sanctuaries they play. Alright, so I can at least draw some cards here. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm gonna name human here, and then human, human. This cannot be countered. The Lion's Eye Diamond can be countered. So if I make infinite mana, then I can play Bauble an unbound number of times. So I guess we'll see what, if any, answers they have to that. They do have another Sanctuary, so they can get back their Plow if they can draw a card here. If they just have like Brainstorm or some shit. Yep, alright. We are whittling them down though. Slowly but surely. Alright. 2 Salvagers gone, 2 Urzas gone. Already spent our Gyruda. But they've spent 2 Mystic Sanctuaries. I don't know how many they have. This has to be like actual Bant Miracles, not Snoko or some other version. So next turn I draw another card with Maze Mind Tome. Alright, so they have Force of Will and 1 unknown card in their hand. Or 2 unknown cards now. And they're on the beatdowns. Alright, so we know about Force of Will, but Urza doesn't care. Urza has no respect. He is the honey badger. Teferi is unfortunately lined up very well to pick off this construct. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, Urzify. Oh, we found a salvagers. Guess I'm casting it. They can force it this turn, but I mean, that's a deal. All right, 3 salvagers down, but we got that force out of their hand. So let's see if Teferi picks off the construct for the clean remove, the clean trade. Yep. Sylvan Library, powerful card. They do not have 3 snow permanents and can't get to 3 snow permanents right now. Or I guess they could fetch a snow basic and play another snake, so I need to be careful with my Urza here. Or I'll just keep ripping bangers. 1, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. All right. Let's see if they have the counterspell. So I'll save my Ancient Tomb. I can save the damage if I don't need to spend it. Force of Negation. All right, fine. All right, Karn is negated. And I can draw a card with Maze Mind Tome now, or I can just wait. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, I can also flip with Urza. That sounds better. Mox Opal. All right. Not really what we wanted, but there it is. Yeah, this library, unfortunately, is probably just going to pull them right back into the game. Maze My Tome does gain me 4 life, so I do have 2 more activations of Ancient Tomb than it appears currently. Yep, just easily take both cards. No surprise there. All right, Jace. That can... Brainstorm is probably the best thing this can do. Yeah. There's 1 Salvagers left in my deck. So it's up to my top deck at this point. Like, I still have several game-winning bangers that I can rip, but there's 3 Karns, 2 Urzas, and 1 Salvagers left in the deck. That's all I got to work with. This can touch now. Okay, alright. Interesting. Alright. So if I draw Walking Ballista, I win. So by having a draw like Walking Ballista in my deck makes me think I might want to scry with Maze Mind Tome just to maximize my mana available. Though 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. I think I still get it even if I draw the card. So I'll play for now and for later. All right, you're gone and Walking Ballista. Oh, Karn plays. Karn can get Walking Ballista, and I can cast it for 2, and that's the game. Let's see if they're going to let me do all that. Are your last 2 cards force blue card? And there's a good chance they are, based on the way this game has gone. Yes, they were. Okay. All right. So how do I want to play this now? I think I want to leave this Urza in play. No, I don't know if that makes any sense. Or I have Caracas in my deck, so yeah, I do want to leave Urza in play. They're at 4, so they can't draw extra cards anymore. It's just Sensei's Divining Top at this point. Though they have Jace and Oko in play, so that's probably enough. Yeah, this is the stage of the game where it's like, I'm dead, but like, I'm also not quite dead. Oh, now I'm quite dead. That card's just in your main deck. A lot of respect. I like what they're doing over there. Just, it hurts right now in this moment. All right, your last card is Swords to Plowshares. Cool. That's the one I definitely can't beat. All right, I'm dead here. Okay, so disenchants are coming in. Back to basics is a serious problem. And do I bring in Winter Orb or do I wish for that with Karn? I probably bring it in. But what am I taking out, I guess is the better question. Opal is coming out. Are they? There's a chance they have Null Rod or Collector Oof. So I should probably bring in. Though, so I'm bringing in the Disenchants, which will hit Null Rod or Stony Silence. Do I think the Miracles deck is more likely to have Collector Oof or not? I'm gonna play like they don't have Collector Oof. I don't know if that's right, but it's the plan I'm going on. Lavinia is like a pretty good defense grid, but they also have a lot of removal. Chalice is my defense grid, I guess. All right, I think I'm gonna lose a Lotus Petal. Speed matters less than being solid here. This is definitely a 4 Maze Mind Tome matchup. Yeah, they did a good job with all their cantripping and card advantage, just staying like 1 turn ahead of me. I did rip like, what was it, like 3 or 4 game-ending top decks in a row, but they had the answer every time. All right, we're on the play. What does this hand do? Nobody knows yet. It has a turn 1 Maze Mind Tome. I'm actually going to keep this. It has turn 1 Maze Mind Tome and then draws 2 cards and scries. So we don't know what this hand does yet, but let's find out together. Human. So they could like Force of Will my 3rd artifact and tank this whole hand. I'd be impressed if they made that play though. Ponder. They still haven't cast any astrolabes in this match, which makes me think they don't have them. Though Okodex probably should have some number. I'm not super familiar with how Miracles is being built these days. Alright, so Bauble. We get to see Misty Rainforest. I'm gonna scry to see if. Alright, Urza. So Urza on top is very exciting. I'm gonna leave him there and just hope that there's a land under him. I'm not gonna pop this second Bauble because I want to keep my Mox Opal on. And land. Alright, that counts. Does that count? 1, 2. Oh no, that doesn't count. I guess I just draw a card with Maze Mind Tome. Yuck. Alright, this is getting ugly. For some reason I thought I was a mana ahead of where I actually am. Alright, let's see. Do they have the Null Rod or Stony Silence or whatever? Rest in peace. Alright, that one I care a lot less about. Their graveyard worked harder for them last game than mine did. So I am going to Bauble now. Force a negation, great. Because if I find a land in my top 2 cards, oh my god. I should have scried. Fuck. Alright. Mistakes were made. We're also 12 cards into my deck and I've only drawn 1 land. I'm just saying. There's like 20 of them in the deck. Though I should have scried. I definitely 100% should have scried. So is it back to basics or is it Oko? It's Oko. So do they want to elk one of my creatures and give me a threat? Or one of my permanents and give me a threat? Or do they just make a food? Yeah, I would make a food too. Right, I'm going to have to scry in my upkeep. But then I lose my tome and it turns off Opal. I guess that doesn't matter if I don't have a land. Jeez. Alright, found a land. So we know they're holding Force of Negation over there. Guess if I play Chalice, maybe that'll at least work through it. Like if they force this, I'm better off in the future. They also don't have to because they just have Oko. It's up to them. Like I can't jam Urza into an Oko on 6 loyalty, they just steal it. Yeah, they're trying to figure out how bad this is for them too. Alright, they've decided it's not, which is not the answer I wanted. Yeah, they can just elk that right up. If they're worried about it, and there's a good chance their deck just plays around it anyway. Like they can just sit on this force, elk this up, make an elk every other turn, and beat me down with what they have already. They don't even need to play spells anymore. And Salvagers is just a 2/4 with Rest in Peace in play. I do have Disenchant if I ever find a window to make that play. Force of Negation is really good though, because like Force of Will normally is just a speed bump because the LED goes to the graveyard, but Negation will exile it even if I do destroy Rest in Peace. They're thinking hard. Maybe I'll time them out. I'll just die while they time out, thinking. Alright, so I could play Salvagers. I can play... Can I play Urza? I can play Urza. I don't think that's very helpful though. This tome turns on my Opal. Are they negating this? Alright, that's cool. Had another one. So there's not a reason to do anything right now. Like if they want to elk my tome, I'll draw a card in response. I could also go for the disenchant on Rest in Peace. Not a lot of great options for me here. So I need to float mana before that's not an artifact anymore. But I think drawing a card with Tome is better here than trying to kill Rest in Peace. Like now that Chalice is not a Chalice anymore. Or they did just tap out. Nope, JK. They never tap out. They're miracles. Alright, yeah, I'll draw a card instead of going for a disenchant. Alright, I'll put Oko back to a loyalty that can't... Well, if it does steal Urza, they lose that too. Not that that seems like it's gonna matter here. So I could play Salvagers just as material on the board. I think I like that. Like I know they have Oko, I know they can Swords to Plowshares, but who cares? This card doesn't do anything, it just blocks Elks. The back and forth that all of these games have come down to is pretty impressive. Like we have not played a single just like down and out shithouse game. Like, everything's been back and forth. This video is like crazy long and it's only round 4. It is kind of a relief that they have this Rest in Peace. Like knowing I don't have to play around Mystic Sanctuary shenanigans is pretty cool. Though if they have Jace, that's not cool. Very uncool. Back to basics, also pretty uncool right now. Well, they fetched a third basic, so back to basics is live. All right, just a ponder. Yikes. All right, well, there's that. So I have to find an untapped land. All right. That's actually not good enough. I need to find a 0 mana artifact or an untapped white source. Uh, Getting there. Name human on that also. City is dead. Doesn't matter. Guess I might as well attack Oko here with both of these. Make sure they can't just trade food for my salvagers for free. Yeah, I suspect they'll just block, let him go to 5, and then make a fresh elk next turn. All right, this game is over. If any of the cards in their hand say force on them, we lose. I also need to find a 0 mana artifact or untapped white source, like actual white source, before any of that matters. Nice Mystic Sanctuary, Moral Victory. Oh god, if I scry, then 0 mana artifact stops becoming an out. Alright, I'm gonna just draw. I should have been more specific. Guess I'll attack Oko. Do I attack Oko? Do I even do that? Because I'm losing the race. Yeah, I'm not gonna attack Oko. I'm just gonna hang out. Yeah, so not scrying there. I have how many baubles are in my deck? Alright, so there's still 6 baubles in the deck. Yeah, I didn't board any out. So by not scrying, I add 6. I get 1 look with 6 more outs versus twice as many looks at half as many outs. So I think not scrying there makes sense. Alright, so next turn they can steal my salvagers. If that's even something they care about, though I don't think they do. I'm still not going to scry. Bummer. Now that I can draw a card, that might be something I'm interested in doing. Though, or I can play Ballista, right? Yeah, I can just summon Walking Ballista, which turns on Opal, which lets me cast Disenchant, which will definitely get countered because they have 7 cards in their hand. They're also at 3, which happened somewhere along the line. All right, now they're at 2. That was worth a force. Okay. Well, if they steal my salvagers, that is what it is. Actually, I would kind of love it if they did steal my salvagers, because they would have to trade a food token for it. Wow, Archmage's Charm. I'm just playing Modern, and I'm here for it. Yeah, if they trade food for salvagers, then I get to at least try my Disenchant, which will not resolve. I wish I had named Disenchant with this cavern, just to be safe. Oh god. Oh, they're just gaining 3 life. I was like, what are they tapping their food token for? Do they have War of Invention? That would have been frightening stuff. Uh, that's also frightening. Okay. Maybe they'll accidentally deck themselves before they attack me with their elks. Alright, I still think drawing a card is better odds. Uh, might as well play this, I guess. And I'm dead. Yeah. I guess I can draw a card and gain 4 life. I'm gonna draw the third Mox Opal, just wait. Or third Salvagers. Alright, I'll pack it up. We don't need to watch me suffer anymore. Alright, I am 1-3. I'm gonna wrap up this video now. I could play one more round, but this thing is already well over 2 hours long, and this deck is a lot of work. I think this deck is very cool. I'm sure I did not play it perfectly. That game against Painter where I didn't just go for Lattice, but I don't know. There were a lot of turns with a lot of options. Maze Mind Tome is a very cool addition to this style of deck. I've played quite a lot of Urza and a bit of Bomberman in my day. I think if you scroll way down in my videos, you'll find Bomberman, and you'll definitely find Urza. I've done that pretty recently. Um, I think there should be a Spyglass in the sideboard, a Pithing Needle effect, probably over Winter Orb, because like this deck is really mana hungry. I'm not sure when you'd go for the Winter Orb. Lavinia was pretty medium. Might be better as just actual defense grid, just more castable. But uh, definitely a sweet deck. The Gyruda aspect was really exciting. I'm glad we got to do it once. And this is something that I could see myself tinkering with a little bit. It is not something I'd play at a Grand Prix, but Nick has been crushing with it at all sorts of tournaments. His money is already where his mouth is, so I imagine there's a lot of just innate like affinity for this type of deck, plus like the reps to get good with it, knowing when to push, when how to mulligan really is a thing that I kept some sketchy ones for science in this league that I knew that I wouldn't keep if it was the Pro Tour, but I was here to just try out the deck, and I like it. I think it's a lot of fun. I was impressed at how long every single game went. I thought I'd dumpster at least a few people, but I guess on Magic Online with Lion's Eye Diamond, even the dumpster games take a long time because you have to loop. But thanks for watching. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you next time.